Hello and welcome to Backstage, all the latest news and reviews from the world of TV and film. I'm Katie Spencer, Sky News' entertainment correspondent. I'm joined by entertainment reporter Claire Gregory.
Hello, hello.
And all the way from New York, Stevie Wong, TV and film reviewer.
Hello.
And coming up on this week's show.
Rule 1, the affair can only take place in Belfast. Rule 2, we can't fall in love. And that way I don't get hurt, and you don't get hurt, and she doesn't get hurt.
In the story, I would be the evil white American husband standing in the way of destiny.
Shut up. He was just this kid in my head for such a long time. I think I just missed him.
Did he miss you?
It is human nature to go for something with a little thrill at the risk of falling.
Oh! Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Would you be interested in having an affair?
Look, before we get on to this week's reviews, shall we start with a little bit of news? And for anyone who is a fan of Taylor Swift, of course, we had the revelation that not only has Taylor been on one of the biggest tours in the world of recent years, she's also putting a film out. What do we think?
I mean, I got my ticket the second I found out. I was already online, like buying it, and then bought it for a bunch of my friends. There's like 5 or 6 of us going. This film is surprised Hollywood because they didn't announce it. They didn't talk to anybody. They just announced it on a Tuesday morning, and it was so big because pre-sales have now gone over 26 million. They're saying that this movie is going to break box office records and change the way films are going to be doing. And it's so popular that Jason Blum, the director, the producer of the film Exorcist Believer, moved his movie a week before with a tweet and says, "Look what you made me do. The Exorcist moves to October the 6th. Hashtag Taylor wins." And yes, she does.
Like Stevie says, records on tour films are about to be broken. So and we can expect more of these, though. You know, there are... Obviously, the strikes are keeping things out of cinemas and everything's shifting around. So perhaps other artists that have done huge tours. Yeah, we might see a Beyonce movie soon, hopefully. Yeah, keep your eyes peeled. We could be getting a lot more concerts in cinemas.
But the other big thing that everyone's been talking about this week, which you've been attending as well, Stevie Wong, Toronto International Film Festival. What were the top 3?
I'm going to tell you about a film by Taika Waititi, who last went to TIFF with a film called Jojo Rabbit, and look what happened to that. It went to the Oscars. And so his new film is called Next Goal Wins, and it's a hilarious story about the American Samoa national football team. And their only goal is to make 1 goal at the FIFA World Cup because they're officially the worst soccer team ever. And it also co-stars Michael Fassbender as the grouchy coach. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then there's a film called Dumb Money, which is about the incident in 2021 where a bunch of people on Reddit gathered together and bought stocks for this GameStop, which is like a gaming store. And then they were up against Wall Street billionaires, and very interesting things happened. It's also very funny. But I also did talk to director Thea Sharrock. She's got a new film called Wicked Little Letters, which stars Olivia Colman and Jessie Buckley. So I talked to the director, Thea, and about before she got on a plane to Toronto, about bringing this film to TIFF without the support of her cast.
I understand their reasons for not being able to be there, and I stand in solidarity with them. And I think this is a really, really important moment in our industry's history. And I really hope we do the right thing and that we find compromise where it needs to be found, so that we can continue doing what we do, which is bringing entertainment and telling stories. And it's hard to believe that we can't find a way through this so that we can carry on doing it together. I'm really surprised how long it's taken.
Bit of an early tease on that one because Wicked Little Letters we think will come out at the start of next year, but we will keep you posted on when the actual release date is. But in the meantime, if you're looking for something that's a bit of a romantic comedy, how about something on Sky Atlantic that comes out this week? It's called The Lovers.
You know what these English fellas are like? You have to be very forward with them. They're too polite.
Surprise.
Why do you want to eat my pudding?
What? Oh, no.
After one night with you, I couldn't stop thinking about you.
We declared his love for that woman, and we've been dealing with the repercussions of that all day.
I wreck everything I touch.
I don't care.
Wreck me. Desecrate me. I don't care.
we have issues with this one, Stevie, don't we? Because how can you kind of fall in love with these characters when they're cheaters?
Exactly. Is this a cheat com? What is this new kind of like genre that's being brought to us? But the great thing is these two actors, Johnny Flynn and Roisin Gallagher, they're so good that they sell this show to the point where, like, I did watch as many episodes as I could. So in a weird way, it was like, I agree with this.
I'm not sure. I didn't even like it, but I've watched it all. How
Yeah, pretty much.
Stevie?
Well, I did get the chance to chat to the brilliant Roisin Gallagher, and she talked about how this was shot and filmed in Belfast and how it really shows the city in a way perhaps it's not often shown on screen.
For me, I may be a little biased, but for me, the joke certainly is not on the city of Belfast. I think the show shows it in such a beautiful light, from the locations to the shots to the color, like the vibrancy, the energy, and that is the city that I'm so proud of, and I'm delighted that it's getting that big wide audience, as well as obviously, being able to actually work at home.
So The Lovers is out now on Sky Atlantic, but if you are heading to the cinema this weekend, you might not be into The Lovers on TV. How about finding something a little bit more romantic, slightly heartbreaking? It's got such a good critical review at the moment. It's called Past Lives, out in cinemas right now.
There's a word in Korean, inyeon. It means providence or fate.
Do you believe in that?
That's just something Koreans say to seduce someone.
What a good story this is. Childhood sweethearts who reconnect 20 years later and realize they were meant for each other.
This is such a brilliant film. I cried. It's heartbreaking, this film.
This movie it's such an impact on me that when I did talk to director Celine Song, it was a mix of like therapy session meets masterclass. And I had to ask her, because it is based on her real life, when she then puts it on screen, does the story belong to her anymore? This is what she had to say.
Now this object is then being experienced by so many people who is treating it as a subjective experience themselves, because that's what it is. That's what it is like to encounter a piece of work. It's subjective. So I think that what's amazing, it's been feeling like such a wonderful full circle or something of starting from a subjective place, going through objectification, and now it's in the hands of the world, and now it's subjective again. When it comes to myself, though, I think that it is really hard for me to go back to thinking about it as subjectively. I think I really just look at it and think of it as a movie. And I'm like, sound design, you just think about think about the movie very much as is. And I think that to me, it's a pretty, it's an objectifying and objective experience for me to watch the movie.
Certainly Past Lives is the one that we would heartily recommend if you're heading to the cinema this weekend. There's a lot of love on Backstage this weekend. We will finish this week with another TV show that's out this weekend for true crime fanatics. It's starring Elizabeth Olsen. It's on ITVX and it's called Love and Death.
They say she was murdered with an axe.
An axe?
More than likely, Betty Gore was murdered by someone she knew.
Did you kill your wife? No. I did have an affair with Candy Montgomery.
Are you all right?
Yeah, wouldn't that be all right?
You just chopped and chopped and chopped.
I didn't do it.
I think you did.
You're wrong.
This is another version of a real true life story.
Yeah, a story
very odd.
A story so great that it's been made very quickly into two different dramas, but they are very different. So even if you did see Candy, don't rule out watching this. And it's because it's an irresistibly fascinating true story that it's all based on, as you say, two couples, one an affair and a murder. I mean, those are the sort of the details. But I think what's really compelling about this one is the performances. You've got Elizabeth Olsen, One Division. She's so brilliant as our lead Candy, and Jesse Plemons plays the man that she's attracted to, and he was recently Oscar nominated for The Power of the Dog, so he's on a really good run. So you've got these incredible actors really lifting this true story, and it's something compelling about it. It's only a 3-parter, but it's one that will sort of kind of keep you watching.
And Love and Death is out now on ITVX. Look, that's it from us for this week. If you want to know any more on any of the shows that we talked about on this week's TV programme, then all you need to do is look up the longer extended version of the Backstage podcast. And you can find that by scanning the QR code, which is on your screens at the moment, or all you need to do is look up the podcast however you normally get your podcast. That's it from us for this week. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, Stevie Wong.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again soon.